Have you wondered what it's like to live in Vancouver, Washington versus Portland, Oregon? Well, this is Jackson, Wilkey, and Jesse Dow. And we're here with the Real Agent Now group doing a video right in Vancouver, Washington, across the bridge from Portland, Oregon. So we're going to talk about some pros and cons about living over here in Washington compared to Portland, Oregon. What's going on, everybody? This is Jackson Ray Wilkey
and Jesse Ray Dow,
and we got your back if you're thinking of moving here. We work with tons of clients all over the United States and out of this country, and we absolutely love it. So hit us up anytime. Now, we do so many videos about living in Portland, Oregon, and we are licensed here in Southwest Washington as well, so we do some videos on that. So if you haven't yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button and click that little bell to be reminded when we do all these videos. So today we're gonna get going, shoot some awesome drone footage, and just talk about the pros and cons of living in Vancouver, Washington. So I am just driving from downtown Portland area to, Vancouver. It's about 5 miles, and you cross over a couple bridges over the rivers, and you are right there in downtown Vancouver. So I'm gonna show you what these bridges, and areas look like. There's that big south waterfront they just built here in Washington too. Awesome, that's where we're gonna go. So the one thing you'll notice about Vancouver, Washington when you come in is it's more of a small town feeling. It's got a kind of a bigger downtown, but it's not near as spread out and sprawled out as Portland is. So it's a little more like tight-knit feeling, and there's a ton to do right here with all shops and restaurants and bars. So this is a really cool area. Okay, so when you pull in here, there's Columbia and 6th Street right here in the center of Vancouver. They've got actually a big Saturday farmers market going on right now, so there's a ton of people down here, and it's a really cool little park area, great to bring kids. But we're headed, past this, gonna go to the South Waterfront area for a little bit. All right, so I wanna give you just a little feel of the downtown Vancouver area. Right over here is where we drove by, and that's that Saturday market. So that's the big square area that is right downtown. But right behind me, there's quite a few blocks running east and west and to the north that have some of these shops and restaurants and bars, kind of like the Portland scene. Definitely not as big and not as many options, but yes, you do have a cool little downtown scene here in Vancouver as well. Yeah, and this cool downtown area right here is called the Esther Short Park, right in the heart of Vancouver. So it's, holding the Saturday markets, and you'll see people down here all the time with their kids playing. They got the little water park there. So it's a really unique area, really cool. And definitely, some things to do around here in the Vancouver area. So we are right in the heart of South Waterfront here in Vancouver. They just built this new pier, completely structural engineered, awesome. And we're walking right out on the pier right now over the Columbia. So as you see behind me, they've redone and built amazing restaurants. So this is kind of a new attraction. Lots of people coming here. That farmer's market was just down the road over there. And you have some brand new, really nice condos. You'd be right down here. All right, so we are walking along this South Waterfront area of Vancouver, and we're going to talk about what it's like to live here, the different types of living, this South Waterfront, but we're just going to kind of go to our local expert here, Jesse Dow, and get the info on that. So let's talk first and foremost, what's up with this new South Waterfront?
Yeah, this new South Waterfront development started about a year ago. It's a kind of a mix between condos, apartments, and hotels. You see a lot of this style in New York City, where the condos commingle with the hotels, which is kind of cool because if you live in there, you get all the amenities of the hotel, and when you leave, if you want to put it on the reservation list for somebody to rent it, they can. So you're generating a little bit more income. But this whole thing has been just fantastically done. This was all just bare land before. Now you got some great restaurants, some great living. You're one river away from Portland, so you just need to take a quick bus down to Portland. It's about 5 miles from here to downtown. They have Ubers, Hopefully they're going to put in a new bridge that'll have max that comes across the river as well. But yeah, the affordability over here is fantastic. There's no state income tax. There is sales tax, unlike Oregon. But other than that, you can get some great real values for your properties over here.
Yeah, so let's talk about that, because there is a lot of questions about living in Vancouver versus Portland, Oregon, or vice versa. So tell us a little bit about like why you'd want to live here, or why you'd want to live in Portland, or work here, or work in Portland.
Yeah, so when you come over here across the bridge, I've actually worked with a lot of clients that have wanted to buy up into Vancouver, because you can buy right across the river and you can get, say, a house for $400,000 brand new construction that would cost in Beaverton or Portland about $600,000, really depending where you're gonna move. So you get a lot more bang for your buck up here. There's not like a huge downtown infrastructure or a lot of commerce, so you're gonna have to travel a little bit. The benefits of living up here is, like I said earlier, there is no state income tax, but there is sales tax. You're probably gonna have to drive for your work unless you're working up here, but they do have a lot of hospitals.
Yeah, so there is a lot of people actually moving from the Portland metro up here to Vancouver. We've seen a lot of that lately. But now let's talk about the living here, because right now we are literally on the south border of Vancouver, Washington. That river separates Oregon and Washington. So unlike, Portland, where you can live on both sides of the river, here, this is the very southern edge, and you're gonna be living north. So let's talk about the style of living you'll see here in Vancouver.
Yeah, so basically the cities are separated by I-5 and 205. Those are the two main freeways that run north and south. I-5 runs from Mexico to Canada, but everything west of I-5 is going to be west. Vancouver, everything to the east is going to be northeast or southeast. But yeah, it's very sprawling lands. It's very flat. There are some great neighborhoods up here, like Fisher's Landing, Camas, Ridgefield, Battleground, Salmon Creek. So there's definitely a lot of great communities around. And downtown Vancouver is pretty small, but it's definitely got that great neighborhood feel and vibe going. There's a farmer's market going on right down the street, and they got this whole new South Waterfront development, which is pretty rad.
Yeah, so like Jesse just said right there, it definitely has a little bit more of a small town feel. So if that's something you're going for, Vancouver definitely, rings the bell for that. But if you're looking for more to do and more, jobs, more economy, Portland's definitely gonna be, better for that. If you go to the west side of Portland, you have Nike and Intel, and the Silicon Forest is what they call it now, is over in Hillsboro. So you're gonna have a lot more to do down in Portland than here. So we don't want to persuade you any way, but if you're looking to move to Portland or Vancouver, we wanted to be able to weigh out the option and give you the information that would help you with that decision. Because here in the Vancouver area, you really have this downtown area, and that's really it, where the Portland Metro, you have the southeast neighborhoods, you have the northeast neighborhoods, you've got the southwest side of town, you've got downtown Portland, you have professional sports. So there is a lot more to do, and there's a lot more economy and jobs. But yes, the affordability up here in Vancouver is a little bit better. All right, so yeah, like you said, you can go just straight north of here. There's a bunch of great new neighborhoods, a lot of new construction going on. But if you head straight east of here, what kind of living will you find there?
Yeah, you're gonna need a lot of new developments, but along the Columbia here, you get a lot of river condos for great value. I think it's one of the coolest places to live if you want to live right on the mighty Columbia and not break your bank.
All right, so in conclusion, there are the benefits like you talked about, taxes and stuff, but what is the big drive of a lot of people moving to Vancouver, Washington?
Yeah, 100% it's going to be the affordability. I mean, you're 5 miles from downtown Portland, and you can get way more bang for your buck. You can get brand new construction starting in the 400s. If you want something really nice, I mean, you can spend $500,000-$600,000 and get something super, super nice. But I just think it's getting great product without spending a lot of money. But you do have to realize that you are removed from like the Portland scene because you are separated from a river. But if you're okay with that commute and living amongst these communities, and they're great communities, I definitely think you can get a lot of house for your money up here.
And tell us about the situation of your last client who just moved from the Portland area up to Washington but still works in Clackamas.
Yeah, so I had a client that I met down in Wilsonville, and they sold their house down in Wilsonville and they moved up to Hawkinson, which is a really, really nice wooded community up there. It's a fantastic area on Acreage Estate, but then he also still continues to work in Clackamas for Kaiser Permanente, and his wife is a piano instructor, and she gets to work remote, so it actually worked out fantastically well. But yeah, they get a lot of great benefits from, you know, working on both sides of the river.
So if you work in Oregon but live in Washington, do you have to pay Oregon income tax?
Yes, you do. So that's actually like the worst case scenario, is like living up here and working in Oregon. You have to pay that state income tax, but the best case scenario would be is if you lived in Oregon and worked up here in Washington.
I hope you really enjoyed that video. Again, this is Jackson Ray Wilkey.
I'm Jesse Ray Dow.
If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're doing weekly videos about what it's like to live and work in the Portland, Oregon, or the Vancouver, Washington area. So ring that little bell. You'll be notified every time we do a new one. And as always, call us, text us, email us, day or night. We don't ever stop working for you, and we got your back if you're thinking of moving here. We work with tons of clients all over the United States and out of this country, and we absolutely love it. So hit us up anytime, and until next time, we'll see you later. In a second, Jesse's gonna go try this new age bathroom they got here.
Swanky.